All right, shalom, shalom. First off and foremost, as always, I want to say, Call Halam La Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors being to the elder apostles, a great millstone that do rule and teach well. And a sincere shalom to you, Ankim out there that's pushing this truth through spirit, through the power, and through the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakakwadash. So this lesson is going to be titled, Behold, I shew you a mystery. Okay? Behold, I show you a mystery, which is written in the book of 1 Corinthians 15 and 51. Okay? And you know, in these last days, we are coming upon the end of Babylon. Okay, the brink, the end of Babylon is near. Okay. And once the destruction hits Babylon, the elect will be delivered. Okay. And the elect are going to receive new bodies, man. You're going to receive, a whole new everything, whole new mind frame, bodies, just everything. We're going to be perfect. Okay. And, these fleshly bodies that we're living in right now, our spirits are in this sinful flesh, these chains with darkness. Okay, we need deliverance from not only this captivity, this destruction, but from these sinful fleshly bodies. Okay, so like the title says, behold, I show you a mystery. So Lord's ordered lessons is edifying to the Lord's sheep. So starting off, this is 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 51. Actually, I'm going to start at verse 50. It says, now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Right, this flesh, this sinful flesh. Okay, because we have to be, changed completely. All right. Now, of course, we have, right now, us being in this truth, we have, gotten a taste of the heavenly gifts, So how much more when we're in our full blown potential, when we're at our complete peak, okay, in the kingdom. All right. Because once we get delivered, this flesh is not going with you. Okay, this flesh is not going with us. Our spirits are going to be delivered. Okay. And these spirits are going to be put in new vessels, new, clean, righteous, pure vessels. Because the scriptures say, which real quick, let me get that actually. 2 Corinthians 5 and 1, it says, for we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved, and that's talking about this current body that we're in, this current tabernacle, okay, this current vessel that our spirit is inside right now, this fleshly body, okay, this is our that earthly house, right? So it says, for we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved, meaning to just wither away. Okay, because once somebody dies, their body is put into the ground, and that body disintegrates. It just gets old and just falls apart. Okay, it deteriorates. Right, that's the word I'm looking for. Deteriorates. Okay, and your spirit goes back up. Right, but right here it says, we have a building of the Most High, and a house not made with hands. Okay, and that house is talk about our new bodies that we're going to receive. Okay, we have a building of the Most High, and a house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. So there's new vessels made by Yahweh Shema Shai waiting for us to enter into. Okay, so once we get delivered, real quick, let me just go back to 1 Corinthians 15 And actually, I'm going to read this, and it's going to say it, okay? So back in 1 Corinthians 15 and 50, verse 50, it says, neither doeth corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I shew you a mystery. Okay, a mystery. All right, and real quick, we go into this word mystery. The word there is mysterion, and it means a hidden thing, a secret, a mystery. Okay, confided only to the initiated and not to ordinary mortals. So it's a blessing. So be grateful that we know this truth. It's a blessing and mercy from the Lord, from Yahweh Shema Shai, that we are able to even understand these prophecies, these parables, these breakdowns. Okay, that's that breath, the wisdom, knowledge, understanding of the scriptures, the Holy Spirit. You see? So this is only given to the holy prophets, the servants, this deep understanding. So this is a mystery, okay? And only the elect can get it, okay? And it goes on to say, it says a hidden or secret thing not obvious to the understanding. It says the secret counsels which govern the Most High in dealing with the righteous, which are hidden from ungodly and wicked men, but plain to the godly. You see? So the Lord has shown us these mysteries, okay? And these mysteries are not given to the average person, to the average Israelite, okay? To the wicked, all right? That's why, in this truth, man, you want to just count your blessings, okay? Be grateful for the position that you're in. All right. That's why I'm so glad that Yahweh Shema Shai woke me up, man. And I'm pretty sure you brothers feel the same exact way that I do. Okay. I'm so glad the Lord, stirred up my pure mind by way of remembrance and gave me the ability to know who I am. Okay. To know who my God is, and that's Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. Giving me brothers to counsel, to confide in, to seek counsel to. Okay, that's truly a blessing, and for us to be in the truth, to know the mysteries, to know that we got a kingdom coming, to know that America is not the end all be all for us. It's way more than life than just Babylon, man. Okay, that's why this place is going to be destroyed according to biblical prophecy, according to the words of Yahweh Shema Shai. All right. So back in 1 Corinthians 15 and 51, it says, behold, I shew you a mystery. All right. And we just went into that word mystery. It says, we shall not all sleep. Right. Not all of us are going to die. The scriptures speak. Now, the scriptures do speak about, being a martyr. Okay. That may be, some brothers' lots to be a martyr. Okay. But not all of us are going to die. Just like Yahweh Shai said, some of you standing here should not taste death. You see? And it says now, because you're going to have, brothers that make it to the end and get delivered. Okay. And not die. Okay. But before the brothers that have passed away in the faith, okay, or whose lot is to be a martyr, they're going to be risen up first, like it says in the book of 1 Thessalonians, the 4th chapter. Okay, let me get that real quick. 1 Thessalonians 4. First Thessalonians 4 and verse 15 and it reads, for this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain, you see, unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High, and the dead in Yahushua shall rise first. So the brothers that are have transitioned to, have transitioned on, okay, in the faith, and the ones that are, that become martyrs, they're gonna be risen up. They have a they have a seat in the chariot by default. Okay. Ultimately, the elect by default, because they've been predestinated. But right here, the scriptures say, let's read it again. And the dead, anyhow, Shah Mashiach shall rise first. You see? Then we which are alive and remain, right? The brothers that have survived and here and still enduring, okay, and kept the faith, right? Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds. What's those clouds? The chariots, you see? And within that, them being beamed up, we're all going to receive those new bodies. Okay, the elect are going to receive those new bodies. Okay? Those clouds talking about those chariots, okay? Who the world calls, which the world calls UFOs. But now they're being called UAPs, okay? And it says, shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord Yahushua in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord Yahushua. Wherefore comfort one another with these words. And that's comforting, okay? Because us knowing that we're going to be delivered out of destruction, that's comforting, man. That's a faith booster, okay? So just know that deliverance is coming soon, okay? Just know that new bodies is waiting for us, okay? And even within those new bodies, the new covenant, you see? The new covenant is going to be in our inward parts, man. The Lord's going to give us, a new heart, okay? Meaning a new mind. Everything is going to be new, okay? And actually, I'm going to prove that in one moment. But let's finish this in 1 Corinthians 15 and 51. And it says, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. Okay. I'm just curious to see what that word change means in the Blue Letter Bible. Okay. The word change, it means the Greek word for change, it says alasso, which means to change, to exchange one thing for another, to transform. You see, to transform. So we're gonna look completely different. Okay, your body that you're in, your spirit in this vessel that you're in, that's not how you're gonna look in the kingdom. Okay, this weak ass flesh is not going with us. All right, and real quick, just to prove that, let's go to I'm gonna hold this in 1 Corinthians. I'm just bouncing back and forth. All right, let's go to, let's see here. Okay, Philippians 3 and verse 21, and it says, let me start at 20. Philippians 3 and verse 20. For our conversation is in heaven, for whence also we look for the Savior, the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, who shall change our vile body. You see, this body is vile. This sinful, nasty flesh. Okay, you is weak. You run out of breath. You sweat. Okay, you can get stank breath. Diseases, ailments, pimples, zits. Musty. This flesh fucking is disgusting. It's vile. It's sinful. Okay, this flesh has a mind of its own, man. This sinful flesh, it goes against the spirit, like it says in Galatians. The flesh the word against the spirit, okay, and vice versa, right? And it says, "Who shall change our vile body?" Right, the Lord's gonna change us, okay, like it says, 1 Corinthians 15 and 51. We shall all be changed, right? And it says that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body. You see, so we're gonna get new bodies, okay, according to the working whereby he's able even to subdue all things unto himself. There you have it. Okay. So let's head back to 1 Corinthians 15 and 52. And it says, 51, it says, we shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. Okay. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye. So like that, boom. Okay. Quicker than, Goku could turn Super Saiyan. Quicker than that. Okay. A twinkling of an eye, a blink of an eye, and the blink is pretty fast. It says, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, meaning what? When that destruction comes, before the nukes come, okay, we're going to be changed. All right. For the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Okay. We shall be changed. All right. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. Right, man. We can't keep living like this. Okay. The Lord's going to turn us immortal. Okay. The Lord's going to give us a new mind, a new body, new everything. And speaking of new body, let's get this real quick. This is the book of Ezekiel 36 and 26, okay? It says, a new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you an heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your God. You see, so the Lord's going to give us, a new mind, a new heart. Okay. It says, the Lord says, verse 27, and I will put my spirit within you. So we're going to have a whole new start. All right. A clean slate. Okay. New Jerusalem. You see? Why do you think there's a new covenant? Let's get that. It makes so much sense, right? This is Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 8 to verse 11. And it says, for finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, said the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Okay. The northern kingdom and southern kingdom. But in the kingdom, we're going to be one nation. Okay. Verse 9, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, right? Because the creature is subject to vanity. Okay. The sinful flesh, man. All right. Everything that happened to us, as a people, when it comes to, the old covenant and the law, that's a shadow of things to come. Okay. That's why Yahweh Shai is so important. Okay. The priesthood of Melchizedek, you see, we all priests. Okay. We all going to be righteous. We all going to be perfect. All right. And it says, Hebrews 8 and 9, because they continue not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, said the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts. You see, going back to Ezekiel 36, you see, the Lord's going to give us, he said, I will put my spirit inside you. Okay. And give you a new heart, a new mind. Okay. That's what's going to happen, man. You're going to get slacky about that. Had a phone call. But like I was saying, we're going to get our new bodies. Okay. And then through the elect, that's how the rest of the nation of Israel is going to be born through the loins of the New Jerusalem, of the elect. Okay? And even them, even the Israelites that are going to be born in the kingdom, they gonna be righteous. Okay? They're going to be born righteous by default. Okay? And it says, I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for all shall know me from the least to the greatest. You see? So we're going to be walking Bibles, literally. Just like how it's shy, like how it says he's the word. That's going to be like just like that. Okay? We're going to be many most highs. Come on, man. The scriptures say ye are gods, but right now we are in chains of darkness, so we die like men. But soon we shall no longer die. Like it says in 1 Corinthians, where is death, where is thou sting? We're not going to sin, okay, because the wages of sin is death. So we're going to be immortal. We're going to live forever, for eternity, man. Okay? Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that something that you yearn for? Isn't that something that you are waiting for? Just like how Shai said, don't be, basically loosely paraphrasing it, be happy that your name is written in the book of life. Okay? That's what I'm happy for, man. Okay? Because everything else is gonna come. I'm just, happy that, more than likely that our names are written in the book of life. Okay? Because you gotta believe that you're of the elect. Yeah, you have to. You have to believe it. Okay? You have to have faith that the Lord is going to deliver you. Okay? Back in 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 53. For this corruptible must put on corruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. Okay? O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? You see, we're not going to die, man. Okay? Death is going to be far away from us. Okay? We're going to be perfect. We're going to be, oh my goodness, man. I'm speechless damn near. We're just going to be we're going to be on top, man. Okay? The Lord's going to put us on a level that we can't even fathom in this sinful flesh. Okay? So, I'm going to leave right there. And Lord's will, this lesson was edifying to the Lord, sincere sheep. And I just want to say, call along La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, and Kakodash. Double honors being two of the elder apostles, a great millstone that do rule and teach well. And a sincere shalom to you, Ankim out there that's pushing this truth through his spirit, through the power, and through the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, and Kakodash. And with that being said, shalom.